and welcome to the second video of Sprouts and Micrograins. My name is Willis van Amsterdam, and we're covering a few different concepts that are instrumental in understanding why it's so important to take control of our food. The concept that we're going to cover in this video is about GMOs. What are GMOs? You've probably heard of GMOs. What does that mean? And I'll tell you right now. GMO means genetically modified organisms. It means that yes, all living creatures, including their food, has a genetic code, such as we, same with animals, and this genetic code is passed from generation to generation, and it determines what we look like and what we are like. And that's basically what it is. Now, scientists have been studying the genetic code of these different foods, and some animals as well, not to mention humans, but we're going to cover just foods. And they have modified it, they have changed it into something different than what God initially intended to give us. They have changed the code to make foods taste a certain way, look a certain way, or being resistant to certain substances. Let me be more specific. There's one company called Monsanto, which is probably the one you've heard of, which is perhaps the biggest one in the world. They have their own poison pesticide, which is called Roundup. So they have genetically modified certain foods, most of them, especially here in the United States, corn, wheat, soy, among many others, to be resistant to Roundup, which is, again, it's a pesticide, which we covered in the first video. It's a poison, and it's meant to prevent, insects and worms and weeds to grow from it. Now, if the plant itself is genetically modified to be resistant from this particular brand of poison, means that they can spray even more poison on it, and it is not going to be affected. Of course, all other living creatures are going to be affected, such as worms and insects, weeds, or humans. The bees particularly are suffering a lot around the world. It has become one of the problems because they're being killed by these poisons, especially now that these genetically modified organisms are literally resistant to this particular brand of poison. It means that they can spray even more poison on them to guarantee that there's not going to be any weeds or anything at all, to make it more easily to grow, commercially speaking. And now it means that when we eat this GMO food, not only is not exactly the type of food that we're hoping to eat. Say, for instance, we buy corn, and it looks like corn, but genetically speaking, it's not corn, it's something different. But the worst part is that now that this plant is being genetically modified to be resistant, it has been sprayed with even more poison than normal, non-organic mainstream practice. And now when the general public eats these, they're eating even more poison because we have not been genetically modified to resist poison, any kind of poison. So that is the problem of GMO. Not only it gives us something that is not exactly what we ate, what we want to eat, it's actually been poisoned even more. And that is why it's so important that everything that we eat, as much as we can, is non-GMO organic food. In this case, we're going to cover how to sprout all these different seeds, beans, nuts, and grains, and we're going to do all non-GMO seeds, and we're going to sprout them and grow them, their microgreens, organically. And that's our second video today. We're going to keep covering more concepts in our video. Thank you for watching. This is Bliss van Amsterdam in Sprouts and Microgreens.